Sat Sri Akal. Everyone, welcome back to Beyond Borders. I'm Gurpreet Singh Nihang. Today I'm bringing you a multi-part story from our Sikh history, the Rand Horse of Chamunda and Karan Nangal. This is a story of faith, guerrilla resistance, betrayal from within, tragic loss and an unbreakable spirit that helped shape future sovereignty for the Panth. I'll speak plainly, listen close, and share this with anyone who cares about the true history of the Khalsa. In Chamunda there were 22 Randhawa villages. Their center was Karan Nangal. Many from those families took Pahal of the double-edged sword, joined the Guru's Panth, and picked up arms. They lived by the Guru's instruction, not for titles, not for land, but for the Panth and faith. Long hair, firm belief, readiness to fight when duty called. They had no forts, no castles. When danger came, they retreated to wells, ravines, forests. During the day they were gone. At night they returned to their homes. That's how they survived, hiding by day, living quietly by night. They began guerrilla actions, hitting Mughal supply routes and raiding the Lahore to Delhi road. They angered the Turks. The state called them rebels. The Singhs would say to one another, "Our time will come. One day Khalsa will rule. In every saddle will sit a sovereign." Our Guru's words are not false. Even when suffering, they kept hope. Their hardships were not weakness. They saw them as the seed of sovereignty. Because they had no fortifications, the Singhs depended on cunning in the land. They melted into the wilderness when the Turks advanced and came back when the danger passed. They blended with local people to protect families and children. The Turks returned again and again, empty-handed. The texts say the Turks were dispirited, embarrassed like a leopard, furious that they could not capture the Singhs. Their humiliation turned into a burning desire for revenge. Still, the Singhs had friends and relatives at home who sheltered them. They continued to survive, hiding by day, moving by night, and holding on to the belief that endurance today would bring dignity tomorrow. Now listen carefully. The most painful part of this story is not just the battle, it's betrayal from within. In a village named Sajada, lived the Sultaness, followers of Sakhi Sarwar. They looked like ordinary villagers, but some were informers, working for the Turks. There was a paid informer living among them. He gathered detailed reports on the Singhs, passed them to local Jats, and the Jats passed them to the Turks. This became a network of betrayal. Greed entered the equation. Some villagers had previously received land grants from the rulers. They said to the Turks, "We will help you. We will get rid of the Randhawa Singhs. In return, give us land, power, honor." They even spoke of destroying the lineage, even their unborn children, to erase the Singhs forever. The Turks agreed. Whatever these traitors asked, written promises, grants, leadership status, the Turks were ready to deliver. The Singhs had no idea that their neighbors were planning their end. The plan was set. Informers gave a time. One night the Turks surrounded the village and laid siege. The circle was so tight that not even a dog could get out. They stationed troops all around. The wicked Jats joined them and strengthened the siege. They went house to house. They found 14 elders and killed them all. They cut down Jats they suspected of being related to the Singhs. Whoever they could locate, they executed. If someone had gone visiting that night, by chance he survived, but the rest were mowed down. The texts say, those who were located were put to the sword. The Singhs of Majha suffered unbearable hardships. The massacre was an attempt to exterminate them. Yet out of that darkness came one survivor who would carry the story forward. Sab Singh. He had been away visiting another village. He escaped death by accident. Later he went to Amritsar, did Seva, and became a leader in congregational prayer at Sri Darbar Sahib. Rulers and kings would later touch his feet when Khalsa sovereignty rose. The pain of the Randhawa Singhs converted, over time, into the Panth's claim to sovereignty. Their yearning for freedom outlived them. Their yearning for sovereignty went beyond their lifetimes, bringing them the status of a sovereign in every saddle. What do we learn from this? Several things. 1. Courage without comfort. These were ordinary people who became extraordinary by living the Guru's instruction. 2. Danger from outside and inside. The enemy wasn't only an external army. Betrayal by neighbors and greed can be just as deadly. 3. Sacrifice transforms history. The loss of these Singhs was not the end. Their sacrifice planted the roots for future sovereignty for the Khalsa. Had someone asked about the few Singhs who survived, and whether they gained land or political power, the answer is complicated. Some regained honor and status later when the Khalsa became powerful, and Sab Singh's story shows that endurance and faith can be rewarded in time.